Ladies and gentlemen, ain't she a peach? Yes, Steve.
Hey, thank you all for having me on this lovely Friday night. Thank you, whoever did the shushing. I like to start off, I want you all to get to know me a little bit better. So I usually start off my set by coming out to the audience and letting everybody know that I'm gay. But I recently got this haircut to save myself on time. My hairstylist calls this the Jennifer Lawrence or the J-Law. And I'm like, honey, you can call this haircut whatever you want, but it is and always has been the Dyke do. Unless you're trying to tell me something about Jennifer Lawrence. Because if you are, I'm listening. When I look in the mirror, though, I see less of Jennifer Lawrence and more of a Harry Potter. That motherfucker. Like, no one wants to say it, but somebody's gotta say it. Harry J. Potter fucking sucks as a wizard. It's like, thank you. It's like, what kind of wizard needs glasses, you know? Ooh, you couldn't figure out the spell for LASIK. But in coming out, I've had a lot of support from my friends and family, especially my parents. When I came out to them, all my dad said was, well, that explains the mystery of the missing Playboys. All those issues, all those years. And I do look down in shame. And my mom, Ever the Jew, was like, so what you're telling me is that when you get married, I get to split the cost of your wedding. Yes, Mom, whatever gets you through this conversation. But by the time I came out after college, and I feel like everyone in my life kind of already knew. From a very young age, I was very strangely drawn to softball. And even in high school, all my friends were like, oh, who's cuter, NSYNC or Backstreet Boys? But I was so lost in the Spice Girls world. You had these 5 hot chicks, and they had those hot accents. And they're half naked, and they're asking me what I want, what I really, really want. And let's face it, they knew. They really, really knew. But since I've been out now about 8 years, and I feel like coming out happens in stages, you know? When you first come out, you just want to shout it to the world. It's like, I'm here, I'm queer, yes, I am. And I changed my whole wardrobe. I only wore quirky shirts that said things like, proud vegetarian. Is it gay in here or is it just me? My other penis is a fist. A personal favorite. But after your 10th or so coming out, it kind of it loses its freshness, I just felt like I was being forced to watch a rerun of the worst episode of How I Met Your Mother. Oh, I'm sorry, any episode of How I Met Your Mother. Spoiler alert, your dad's rambling stories go nowhere. But most of my coming out experiences were really good, but I did have a few shitty ones. When I got together with my first girlfriend, I immediately made an appointment with the gynecologist, because that's the responsible thing to do. Which is what I told everybody, but it was really so I could say out loud to somebody, not only am I gay, but I'm getting some. So I'm at the gynecologist, I'm sitting there with the nurse, and we're filling out all the forms, and we finally get to that question. Are you sexually active? Why, yes, ma'am, I am. Next question. What kind of birth control are you using? Well, it's called Lesbiana. And it happens to be the most effective birth control on this planet, because I promise you, I will not get knocked up. And this lady looks right at me, and she's like, you don't look gay. I didn't have the haircut at the time. And I'm just like, shit, lady, we can't all be Ellen. And then she's going on, and she's like, how can a woman like you be attracted to all women? What is it about all women that's so amazing that changes your world? And I'm like, let's just be clear, lady. I'm not attracted to all women, especially right now. And then she was ready for this. She fucking pulls a picture out of her back pocket of her son. And she's like, oh, this is my son. You don't think my son's cute? You don't want to date my son? So I did what any woman standing up for herself would do. I went in the lobby and I got my mom. Yes. And my mom came in and it was awesome. She gave this lady a piece of her mind. And it was so great for me because this was the first time that my mom actually argued against me dating a Jewish boy. So So I'm originally from Los Angeles, land of tall, skinny blondes, and like fat-free everything. That's how I used to talk, guys. When I tell people that here, the first question they always ask me is they're like, oh, are you ever planning on moving back? And then I have to explain to them, no, I've gained 60 pounds, I'm no longer allowed. Being from LA though, like it really fucks with your psyche, you know? It's like the other day I was supposed to meet my friend for drinks, and she texts me and she's like, I have a stomach bug, I can't make it, I've been shitting and puking all day. And I was just like, oh man, imagine how thin you're gonna be at the end of that. I actually texted her that. And for like 2 minutes I considered driving to her house to get the stomach bug. Because I was like, oh man, this would be easier than going to the gym. But so the other day my coworker came in my office and he was like, hey, would you like to buy some Girl Scout cookies from my daughter? And I was like, yeah, sure, where is she? Because my rule of thumb with the Girl Scout cookies is I only buy them directly from the Scout. When I was a kid, I had to peddle that shit. I knocked on more doors than a Jehovah's Witness, and I expect the same from these kids. So my coworker is a grown man. He's a lawyer. He looks at me and he's like, actually, she's very busy, and she won't be able to come to sell you the cookies. She's 10. I'm 31 and I'm still not that busy. And clearly her dad had all fucking day. It's like, I'm sorry, I thought they were called Girl Scout cookies, not Daddy's too whipped to tell Mommy no cookies. I recently went on a trip to Amsterdam with my brother. It's a beautiful city. We went for the same reasons, the same 2 reasons that everybody goes. The Heineken experience and the Vincent van Gogh Museum. That's just what we told my mom. We went for the weed and the hookers, guys. It's wonderful. There's like all these beautiful canals, and it's such a wonderful city. But and there's this smell of marijuana, this aroma everywhere you go, which is amazing. Because for a Jew like me, a contact high is better than a coupon. On our plane ride back, it's like an 8.5, 9-hour plane ride. They showed this movie called Begin Again, and it's got Keira Knightley in it, and it's got Adam Levine from Maroon 5 in it. And I usually hate Adam Levine as an actor, but in this movie he played a whiny bitch. And I do have to say he fucking nailed it. So they show this movie, and then they show it a second time, and then they show it a third time, and then they show it a 4th time. And I'm like, seriously, flight attendant, you just looked at the title and went, okay, begin again. I'm like, thank God they weren't showing Crash. So I do love the ladies, but I will say, like, getting to that point with your lady, getting to the sex, it's complicated, Sometimes the ladies just make it complicated. Like, the other day I'm with my girlfriend, and, I'm trying to get things going, so I light some candles, I set a little mood music, put a little Milli Vanilli on. Because, girl, it's true. And I'm making my way over to her, and my girlfriend stops me dead in my tracks. And she flips on the lights, and she's like, if you want to fuck me, you have to fuck me mentally. I was like, shit, I thought I could just light some candles and get this going. All right. So I pull her in close, and I lean in, and I whisper in her ear, and I'm like, did you know, in 1939, Adolf Hitler was nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize? Because if that doesn't fuck you mentally, like, I don't know what will. I heard that shit 2 years ago, and it's still fucking with my head. But apparently that wasn't what she wanted to hear, because she ran out of the room crying, I just wanted you to say I was pretty. So recently I thought my identity had been stolen, but it turns out my girlfriend just prefers to spend my money. Probably because of the Hitler thing. And she went on my Amazon account and she bought herself a copy of Eat, Pray, Love. So now every time I go on Amazon and I look at the recommendations, Amazon recommends that I shut the fuck up and get over myself. But my girlfriend, she's African American, so go me. We've been dating now about 3 years, which means I'm stuck going to a lot of her family shit. And I was we were just hanging out the other weekend at her sister's house, and we're all just shooting the shit, telling some stories. So I was just talking about this story about my last graduation. And it was one of those graduations where it's like hot and it's boring and the speeches are going on forever. And I was like, when I get up there, I'm going to do something cool. I'm going to do a little raise the roof, you know? You get up, do a little raise the roof. So get up, get my diploma, walk across the stage, do a little raise the roof. Her family is laughing at this shit hysterically. And they're like, that is the whitest thing we've ever heard. And I'm like, which part? The raising the roof or the graduating on time? And that is how you get uninvited to family events. So go me. Thank you, I'm Amanda.